I was talking to someone recently about writing. I was telling him about some of my own work, and he said that he wanted to write. He used to write, in fact, but now he cannot write anymore because the retail business or whatever industry he is in, the industry is crushing him. It makes him work long hours, like it does with many other people, and pays him just enough so that he can somehow get by, but not enough to have any real room left for anything else. And what I wanted to tell him was this. First of all, we often say, I have to pay the bills. But who decides how many bills I'm supposed to pay? There are different kind of people. Some people may be paying $5 million in bills. They have like private jets, yachts, multiple houses, boats, cars, and maybe hundreds of people working for them. Then there are people who may be paying $500 in bills. So the question is there a real minimum amount of bills that every person must pay? Or the bills we pay mostly are determined by the kind of life we choose, or more accurately, the kind of life we have been told to choose? Most of the time, we probably do not even think about this. Society tells us what we need to live in a certain way. But how does society tell us this? It is not that one person stands in front of us and gives us orders, right? There is no single agent, no single entity dictating everything. But somehow whispers and directives come to us from different directions. You have to get a degree, you have to get a job, you have to get married, you have to buy a car, a house, you have to live a certain kind of life. There is a collective voice around us, and we absorb it. Most of the time, we do not question it. Even clothing is like that. We are expected to wear certain kind of clothes, and those clothes come with certain price tags. Of course, some basic requirements are unavoidable. If someone refuses to wear clothes altogether, they may get arrested. If someone refuses to follow certain clothing expectations, they may not be able to work certain jobs even. So yes, there are some limits. We do not have to become radically rebellious to recognize that. But even without going that far, a lot of what we identify as standard of living or quality of life has been handed over to us. We accept these things because we rarely stop to imagine that life could be otherwise. Then comes the question of money. We assume that money is something we need, but strictly speaking, we do not need money itself. What we need are certain conveniences and maybe protections from certain inconveniences. We need food, we need a place to sleep, we need protection from heat and cold, we need safety, shelter, and basic comfort. Those are the actual needs. Money is only a means of getting those things, but over time, we forget that. We start feeling as if earning money itself is the same as meeting our needs. The means becomes invisible, money becomes transparent. We stop seeing it as a tool and start treating it as the thing itself. There is another reason why this happens. Our mind reacts to positive and negative sensations. When a need is met, we feel good. We identify that good feeling as happiness. When that feeling fades, we want it again. Then we ask, how do I replenish it? Money becomes the easiest answer. It becomes the single point through which everything can be managed. Instead of separately thinking about rent, mortgage, groceries, utility bills, transportation, comfort, satisfaction, and security, we simplify everything into one word: money. That simplification is convenient, but it also makes us lose our sense of reality. We lose our sense of preference. We forget to ask what we actually want. This man was saying that he works because he has to pay bills. That is it. There is no relationship between him as a person and the work he does. There is no connection between his inner life and the bills he pays. But there is something else he wants to do, something important to him, something that matters, and he cannot get there. What is standing between him and that meaningful thing? The necessity to pay bills. But if most of what we pay bills for has been dictated by forces outside of us, then maybe we need to take that power back. Maybe we need to look hard at our lives and place two things side by side. On one side, this is what I truly want to do. This is what is valuable to me. This is what gives my life meaning. On the other side, these are the assumed necessities. These are expenses I have inherited. These are obligations I accepted without questioning. Then we have to ask the difficult question. Which of these things are actually necessary? Which ones are dispensable? Which ones am I paying for only because I never questioned them? And if I let go of some of those assumed necessities, how much time do I free up? How much time every day, every week, every month, every year? And what could I do with that time? Maybe that is where the real question begins. Not how much money do I need to earn, but what kind of life am I trying to protect with that money? Because if the life I'm protecting leaves no room for the thing that matters most to me, then perhaps I'm not paying bills. Perhaps I'm paying for my own captivity.